appreciation. Mo dúpẹ́ oníbùwọ̀rẹ́ bàbá gbọ́ pẹ́ mi. Appreciation. Mo dúpẹ́ oníbùwọ̀rẹ́ bàbá gbọ́ pẹ́ mi. Ẹni bá ń ràròjinlẹ̀ ló lè mọ pẹ́dá èmi yóò gbé ọ̀gá Olúwa. Ẹni bá ń ràròjinlẹ̀ ló lè mọ pẹ́dá èmi yóò gbé ọ̀gá Olúwa.
Bí ènìyàn kọ́ lọ́lọ́run mi rí, bí ènìyàn kọ́ lọ́lọ́run mi rí, bí ènìyàn kọ́ lọ́lọ́run mi rí o yẹsà, bí ènìyàn kọ́ lọ́lọ́run mi rí, ẹ̀dá ló ń gbàgbé, Olúwa kò gbàgbé rẹ̀ nìkankan wá. Bí ènìyàn kọ́ lọ́lọ́run mi rí, ẹ̀dá ló ń gbàgbé, Olúwa kò gbàgbé rẹ̀ nìkankan wá pẹ́rẹ́pẹ́rẹ́ o. Bí ènìyàn kọ́ lọ́lọ́run mi rí.
Appreciation. Mo dúpẹ́ oníbùwọ̀rẹ́ bàbá gbọ́ pẹ́ mi. Appreciation. Mo dúpẹ́ oníbùwọ̀rẹ́ bàbá gbọ́ pẹ́ mi. Ẹni bá ń ràròjinlẹ̀ ló lè mọ pẹ́dá èmi yóò gbé ọ̀gá Olúwa. Ẹni bá ń ràròjinlẹ̀ ló lè mọ pẹ́dá èmi yóò gbé ọ̀gá Olúwa.
Ẹ̀dá ló ń gbàgbé, Olúwa kò gbàgbé ẹnìkankan. Bí ènìyàn kọ́ lọ́lọ́run mi rí.
I was born on the 9th of November 1953 in Ilarogun, currently in Osun State. That time it was in the Western region. And I attended St. Matthew's Primary School, where I went to Ila Grammar School for 1 year. But my uncle insisted I should move to Oyo Grammar School because we were not having science subjects in the place where I was, in that grammar school. So I moved to grammar school reluctantly because I thought that if I joined a class that I'm offering science in Form 2, I will not be coming first again as I was at grammar school. And as it happened, at the end of the Form 2, I came third, very unhappily. But by the time we moved to Form 3, I was able to get my first position. So I graduated with what we call at that time grade 1 with the aggregate of 11 at that time. And my interest was in the science subjects. So I started looking for how I will get into University of Ibadan to read medicine. And when I applied to University of Lagos also. At that time we were lucky, unlike now that you do jump and just choose. You can go for several preliminary constitutional entrance examinations. So I attended one for UI Ibadan, University of Lagos, and University of Benin. So I was given admission to both University of Benin and University of Lagos for medicine. Naturally, I chose Lagos. So I started the preliminary class in University of Lagos in 1971. Passed my WAEC in 1969. I moved to College of Medicine in 1972, and and graduated with MBBS in 1977. And my interest in surgery was stimulated during that period because I liked the activities of those surgeons. And in particular, I liked the impeccable dressing of the surgeons because they were the best dressed teachers that we had. NYC, I was posted to Kwara State. In Kwara State, I served at Borough local government as the only doctor in that area. Is the admission, I will call it, or employment, or it was really like an admission to residency program because I was employed as a resident doctor in 1981 at the Lagos University. So it's like coming back home after living for 3 years. And I will say to the glory of God, for most of the time, since that time till now, sort of between University of Lagos and Lagos University.
He's a very sociable man. He's very academic minded. He's highly focused in whatever activities he does. I would say he was one of those who really broadcasted the name of the Nigerian Medical Association and fought for basic necessities at that point where he felt the government wasn't attending to us. I'm really amazed and surprised that Professor ATOYEBI, who we used to feel was a young man, about to retire at 70, really can't believe it. He still has the energy to 35 years old.
Professor ATOYEBI is an enigma, a mentor of mentors. What I can call in Yoruba, for those who understand, Adalpeni and Balagba. I must also say this, the University of Lagos ran into some turbulence some few years ago, I think in the year 2020. I can tell because I was also very much involved in that and in the resolution. Professor ATOYEBI also played a very, very key role when we were looking for others to pilot us through that crisis. Professor ATOYEBI was one of them, and he did excellently well. And through him, the university was able to, we are victorious in our pursuit. And today, the University of Lagos is doing excellently well.
For me, Professor ATOYEBI is an institution within an institution. He is an enigma, an erudite scholar, a very intelligent man, a surgeon of repute, and an administrator par excellence. It may interest you to know that Professor ATOYEBI knows university rules more than even many administrators, and is a professor of surgery. A hardworking man. When I served under him, we worked as if tomorrow would not come. Professor ATOYEBI will work 24/7 without stopping, and he will achieve results. He knows his onions, he knows what he wants. A very good man. A man that will give refuge to anybody at any time.
He knew how to wash his hands properly, so he dined with the elders right from the onset. A political activist, he made a lot of foray into political activities in the ARD and also MD Khan and later national medical political circles. He's an Epicurean, so he uses food and drinks to enrich his social life, and everybody that goes around him, you get something to drink, something to eat, and a lot of politics to discuss. When and each time there is a lot of confusion or there are arguments or there are conflicts, Wale is the Baba Saleh, the person to go to. he will sort it out diplomatically, and he will pacify everybody, and nobody can say no to what Wole finally decides. He's a bon vivant.
For 40 years I've known him. He's gentle, he's kind, he's friendly. He remembers the first and middle names of virtually everybody in the College of Medicine and in Lagos University General Hospital. And we call him an all-rounder. Surgeon, administrator, mentor, friend, supporter of resident doctors, supporter of other professionals in the hospital, and he's always looking for the good out of any situation.
I recall particularly one NTA newscaster, Elizabeth Nze. She brought her house help who had an acute appendicitis, and we saw that evening and scheduled for theatre. No, I think it was a ruptured appendix. So we planned for surgery. We did the surgery that night, and she was around. And then the lady was taken to the ward, and she was surprised when she saw us by 7 a.m. because we finished the surgery about 4:30 a.m. And she was surprised to see us by 7 a.m. on the ward. And as we were leaving the ward, she said, you don't rest. We smiled and just greeted and continued. One other thing about Professor ATOYEBI is that he does not joke with Lent. During the Lenten season, ATOYEBI does not touch a drop of alcohol throughout the Lenten season.
That there was a day that Baba ATOYEBI was coming from a wedding, full agbada, full dress, party dress. And when they saw him, they said, Baba, why are you here? And he said, where he was at the party, that his mind keep on telling him that the person that he operated upon on admission, that he should go and check on that patient. And when Professor ATOYEBI now checked the patient and saw that the patient was all right, it was then that he turned back. Baba is retiring. We will miss him. I thank God for his life, that he's retiring well. We will miss him as SOP2 staff, and I'm pretty sure that the Department of Surgery will equally miss him. I, Mrs. Alade Shida, personally, I will miss Professor ATOYEBI because Baba is full of life. There's no dull moment with Professor ATOYEBI.
He is a distinguished professor, accomplished. He is the most senior professor in general surgery. In fact, he is the most senior professor presently at the Department of Surgery in this university and the hospital. I have known Professor ATOYEBI to be a father of all. In fact, he has one attitude that I have been praying that God should please give me. And that attitude is the attitude of playing the motherly role. Even though he is a man, he plays the motherly role to both staff, students, and resident doctors, such that he does not believe that anybody is irredeemable and that anybody cannot make progress. In fact, several times, Professor ATOYEBI is one of the proponents of tempering justice with mercy, and he is always in the forefront of protecting the weaker ones against oppression by stronger ones, irrespective. And needless to say, you will never see Professor ATOYEBI oppressing anybody. I must also say that Professor ATOYEBI always encourages the younger ones, such that Professor ATOYEBI has many children, even though he is not the husband of their mother.
He handed over to me last year in this same office. When he was handing over things to me, he made reference to this desktop. That, well, this desktop is very important. And so also is the printer, the color printer. And he was trying to show me how to operate and telling me the passwords and everything to the laptop, to the desktop. But he didn't tell me the full thing that I need to know. Then later he pointed to the door. He said, this is the washroom. They will be coming from time to time. They want to ask you that they want to wash the place for you, make the place clean for you. He said, well, then he stopped short. It was months after that I got to understand the importance of the desktop, which he was pointing at, and the printer, that you have to do the work most of the time by yourself. And that this door, this is the strong room of the Department of Surgery. So the key must always be with you. I wish Professor ATOYEBI the very best as he steps out of academia into private life. I'll miss him because whenever I have issues to discuss, I just walk across the corridor to discuss with him. Well, may the world continue to be kind to him, and I wish him God's blessings.
I also plead with my upcoming proteges that make sure you are well behaved, because medicine is like apprenticeship. Apart from reading, people see you as a model, and it's what you do, what they see you do, that they will do after you have left. So my advice to your people is to make sure that they are good role models, so that those who are coming behind them will also behave likewise in a good way, not in a bad way. And finally, it should be completed not only when they are training as a specialist, but right from the day of medical student life. You should take them like your own children as medical students, or when they are resident as your own brothers. Because as a trainer, as a lecturer, you should serve as in local parents, like the parents. And with that, when you are living, you'll be happy. I won't pass the knowledge and the skills to those coming behind. As regards biological children, I can tell you that I have only 4 children that I know.
Bàbá ló fi mi ṣorí, mi ò tún dùrù mọ́ láéláé, màá máa ṣeré mi lọ o.